Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 2019 Volkswagen e-Golf. We're going on another road trip today. This time we're going to Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and you are invited along for the ride. Please be aware that this car is available for rent on the GETAROUND platform in Brussels, Belgium. GETAROUND is essentially the Airbnb for cars. At the time of making this video, this is, to the best of my knowledge, the only electric car on the entire platform in the whole of Belgium. So if you are watching this from the distant future, I can only hope that this is no longer the case. It's my guess that we need more EVs on car-sharing platforms. So hopefully this car is no longer the only one. We are going on another road trip, and this time we're headed for Amsterdam in the Netherlands. We're doing Brussels to Amsterdam. It's approximately 220 kilometers, 219 kilometers or so. So we should be able to do it in this car. We'll probably need one charging stop on the way just to be sure, because at highway speeds, of course, this car consumes way more than it does in an urban cycle. So there's one charging stop planned about at the halfway stage, and then we should be okay to get from here to Amsterdam. Okay, just one more thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to reset the trip counter since the last charge, long term, and since start. So I'm going to reset the trip counter so that we get a much better idea of how much we're using for the entire trip. Let's see, where did I put it? Backlash and long term. This is the one that interests me. Reinitialize the driving data, the long-term driving data. So we'll reinitialize that, and then that will tell us for this entire journey from here to Amsterdam exactly what our usage has been. Okay. Gentlemen, quick update, we have just crossed the border into the Netherlands. So we are now on Dutch soil, and there are trucks and lorries everywhere. My goodness me, they move so slowly, and bizarrely they seem to move even more slowly when they're overtaking. Dear oh dear. But still, we appear to be making good time. I think we will make our current destination, and I'll keep you updated on what's happening next. And I almost get killed by a lorry that isn't looking whilst it's trying to merge. And other fun things that you do on Dutch highways. I'll keep you posted. Hopefully I'll make it in one piece. At least a car will. Okay, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is called pushing it. We made it here. It's now 20 hours and 58 minutes, 126 kilometers. This place closes at 9 o'clock. We made it with literally 90 seconds to spare, and as you can see, we're charging. We arrived with 36% on the battery, and it's charging pretty quickly. 38 kilowatt hours is what we're getting on this DC fast charger, which is free because it's LIDL. Yay! Okay, that's cutting it fine. I don't want to do that again. Next time I'll leave just a little bit earlier. So here we are in this car park in Tilburg, I believe it is, in the Netherlands, at the halfway point of our journey to Amsterdam, and we're charging. Okay, there's a slight change of plan because we arrived so late, because I arrived so late here, just before 9 o'clock. The charger has now shut down. The closing time here is 9 o'clock. It will continue charging after the closing time, after 9, but only for about 10 minutes. And then it starts to stutter, it keeps going, then stutters again, and then it shuts down at about 10 past 9. So we gave up the ghost at 10 past, and I didn't quite get enough charge to reach the destination. I need about 150 kilometers to get there to be safe. I arrived with about 60 yards. I've gained 30 more. I now have 92 kilometers. So there has been a slight change of plan. I'm now going to go to the Fastnet charger, which is not far from here. Yes, it's a paying charger, so it's not quite as good, but hey, it works. There's one on the A27 highway, approximately 18 kilometers from here. That's where I'm headed now, and we should be okay. Okay, this looks like it. There's a Fastnet charger right there. This is the Fastnet charger on the A27, just outside of Tilburg. Dongen, near Dongen, Breda. Okay, let's call it the Fastnet charger just outside of Breda, not far from Tilburg. So just for reference, the LIDL is in Tilburg, the Fastnet is closer to Breda. Breda, Osterhaus, Dongen. That triangulates the place. Okay, now we'll see if it works. Okay, with my trusty charge map card. Okay, this is it, the Fastnet charger place. Huge thing, nice and covered. Solar powered, so you're getting renewable energy. Bizarrely, they seem to have side stalls with an extra one. I guess they've taken an option on an extra charger. They have two currently, they'll probably install a third. Okay, let's see if this works. Now, first of all, do they have a language option? Tap your card. Yep, okay. Let's do this. Okay, now they have a language option. English. I want CCS. let's go for number 3. Where are we? 300 kilowatts. Number 3. Yes, let's take this one. Open this baby up. Take the one that's flashing. Whoops. Let's remove the cover and then see if this baby will charge. Just thinking about it. Yes, that looks good. When the light turns green, we can party. Yes. Yes. Celebration time, come on. It's a celebration. See? Okay, we're charging. CCS hypercharging. Is that similar to supercharging but faster? I have no idea. 40% battery state of charge. And we're getting, come on, we're ramping up. 34. This car has a maximum of 40. Oops. That's not looking good. Oh, it's still charging. I guess that's just some kind of increase speed. 1 active. Am I tempting fate if I press this? Okay, not tempting fate. But it switched back to Dutch. Hey, why not? When in Holland? Whoops, I'm sorry, when in the Netherlands, they get touchy about that. Battery state of charge 42, 39.2. That is pretty much maximum speed. Well, given that this is a 300 kilowatt charger, I guess it can handle a 40 kilowatt car. Amount of energy charges, geladen energie. I'm guessing that means the energy that has been charged, 95, almost 1 kilowatt. We're getting a kilowatt every 2 minutes. That's pretty good. Charge time, 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Okay, I'm impressed. That was very easy to do, very simple. And even though I don't speak the language, I still managed to get by. A combination of Fastnet and charge map. Oops, already charge map seems to have done the trick. Okay, what does the car say? The car says I should stay here for 35 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Now I don't need 35 minutes, I just need approximately 50 or 60 kilometers extra in range, and then that'll be enough to get to the destination, which is Amsterdam. Okay, I think we can call this a success. Let's call it a success. Fastnet, I like you. This could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. So, just a quick update. 142 is the current trip length to get to this part. Don't forget we had that stopover in Tilburg at the LIDL, so we'll add about 20 kilometers to that. So 120 odd was what it took to get here. So 120 is pretty much the halfway point. Okay, I lied. I said I was not going to charge it to full, but, well, it was so quick that I had just about enough time to grab a bite to eat and attend to a call from nature, and it's full. So what I'll do now is I'll stop the charge and I'll be off. I have more than I need. Do I need to have my
trusty EV charge card with me at all times. Perhaps, probably. Yes, don't worry about him. That's just the car worrying about being on when the door is open. Okay. Now let's see if I were to stop here. Select your session, this one. Now, how do I stop him? If I present the card again, what happens? Stop. I can press the stop button. 99% state of charge is more than enough. Still charging at 10 kilowatts, even though we're at 99%, because the e-Golf has quite a sizable buffer, which means even when it reaches the so-called 100%, it's not really 100, so it charges to 100 quite quickly. So if I say stop, oh, look at that, we're perfectly in sync. Just as I said stop, it said 100. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making this up. This just happened just so. Okay, 100% state of charge, 19.57 meter con in 38 minutes. Way more than I needed, but hey, why not? Okay, that seems to be all done. We're all charged, 100%. Unnecessarily so, but hey, why not? I'm now going to go to Amsterdam. And just before I do, one more thing to note about Fastnet and why they're so awesome, let's call it that. They even have a bucket of dirty water for you to clean the windscreen of your car. It's just like a normal service station. They even give you a bucket of dirty water to clean the windscreen. It's as if we, the EV motorists, are being treated just like everyone else. That makes me feel so warm inside. Okay, we're off. Okay, just thought I'd give you a quick update. Long durée, that's since we've started the trip, since we've first moved the car back in Brussels. So this is the long term, and I reset it just before starting out so that we'll get a picture for this whole trip. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go. Fully charged, kind of accidentally. Didn't really need to be fully charged, but hey, it was so quick because that's a powerful charger and this car has a sizable buffer. So we reached 100%, still pushing out 22 kilowatts of power. Seems to be okay now. As I said, we now have 213 kilometers of range, and that should be enough to get us to Amsterdam with about 100 kilometers to spare, because it's about 100, no, it's saying 97 kilometers between here and Amsterdam, our destination. Okay, so we're ready to go. Ten seconds ago, I genuinely tried to start this car and begin my journey with the plug still in the socket. I apologize. I'm not perfect. Now, in the past, I have actually started a journey and gone onto the Autobahn with the charging socket open. But to have the cable still in, even for me, that is a new low. I wonder if there's a 12-step program for people like me. Okay, I'll get it right this time. Okay, I think we can start now. That means it's not plugged in anymore. here we are in Amsterdam, just outside of the Rijksmuseum, and it has been remarkably painless getting here. The charging network is good. The motorways are the highways and motorways are excellent, and it's really not been that difficult. Fastnet, the Fastnet charger worked very well. Fastnet and we appear to get along very well, and yeah, I like Fastnet. I'll use it again. Okay, and that is our current consumption levels for the whole of this trip, long term. As I said, I reset the trip counters at the beginning, so long term would reset at the very start back in Brussels. 243 kilometers covered. Average speed 60, 15.7. That's a little bit elevated, but hey, I guess couldn't have been uphill because Amsterdam, I believe, is closer to sea level than Brussels, but I'm just guessing. Took us 4 hours. We could have done it in less time. This can be done in 3.5 hours, maybe even less. But yeah, it's been relatively simple. Okay. As I said, the Rijksmuseum, I believe, is just behind us. Behind me there, the canal and the White Eagle. And if you look there, this is the Rijksmuseum in the middle of Amsterdam. This is the canal, and I have absolutely no idea what that is, but I can look it up later. Okay, and so ends my second major road trip in an e-golf. Much simpler and much easier than the first, but I'm a little bit more experienced now, I like to think, so I did find it easier. They say the second is considerably.
And so we come to counting the cost. How much? Well, the short answer is it's complicated. The reason it's complicated is because different types of chargers have different costs. In short, fast charging is expensive and slow charging is cheaper, and LIDL is free. My standard calculation is to start with a full battery, and then at the end of the journey I fill her up again to 100% and estimate how much I've used during the trip. Now, at the end of this trip I didn't immediately have the chance to fill her up, so I estimated the cost based on the final battery level, about 42%. And as you can see, the numbers are as follows. If you presume only fast chargers are used, then the total cost is €29.54, which is pretty much the same as you would pay with a very similar combustion car. However, that's not really realistic because most people would at least use some slow charging during a journey like this, certainly at the end. So if you throw a slow charger into the mix, then that cost goes down to €25.62, 17% less than with a very similar combustion car. However, it gets really interesting if you are fortunate enough to have a LIDL fast charger on your route. If you have one of those available to you, then the cost goes down to just €10.44, 65% less than with a very similar combustion car. $10, just $10. This means that even a return journey from Brussels to Amsterdam in an e-golf is way less than a one-way journey in a very similar combustion car. How do I know? Because a week later I made exactly the same journey in a very similar combustion car, a Golf GTI. How did that work out? Well, let's listen to this guy whilst he tells us all about it.
Okay, that's approximately 210 kilometers, and we are back in the same place. Now I'm going to find a filling station of the combustion fossil fuel kind. See how much it has cost me precisely to make this journey. Okay, this is the place. And that's a little charging.
Ah, the good old days of cheap fuel. Remember that? €31.07. Yep, that's right. 200% more expensive than with the e-Golf. 3 times the price to travel from Brussels to Amsterdam in a combustion car. Some would say that it's numbers like these that make the electric car option worth considering. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings to an end this review of the Brussels to Amsterdam road trip in an e-Golf. I hope that you have enjoyed it as much as we have enjoyed making it. And remember, like if you like, don't like if you don't like, and subscribe if you feel like. Thank you enormously for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace, we